In the modern world, smartphone technology is absolutely integral to society. From business to pleasure, it has many uses. Over the years, social media has molded itself into our everyday lives. Just imagine going a week without social media. That will definitely be a challenge. The technology we have at our disposal is undoubtedly useful. For example, what else would you do during the awkward silence in a lift? This recent technology boom is an unprecedented development within society. With this comes various uncertainties, in particular the effects on mental well-being. In this documentary, I'll not only be recapping past research, but I'll also be speaking to various media and mental health experts. I'll be finding out what they think the future holds for social media and mental health. Now, we know that social media is a big part of our life, but how big is it really? Well, we know that 40% of the world's population use a form of online social media. Within this, people spend on average 2 hours per day browsing their newsfeed or replying to messages. That's equivalent to 6.5 years out of a lifetime. With such a large amount of time being consumed by media, it's no joke when I say people can get addicted. I mean, people can get addicted to caffeine. In a study undertaken by Nottingham Trent University, it was found that social media addiction is a mental health problem, as it fits into the classification of internet addiction. It was stated that this kind of addiction may require professional treatment. It was found that individuals that use social media excessively were more likely to have relationship problems, worse academic achievement, and less participation within their communities.
We're all just sort of, the brain is designed in order to find kind of and reward successful repetition. So if you get something that makes you feel great, the likelihood is that you would like to do it again. It's kind of those elements of the brain, and it's those elements of sort of brain chemistry that in some people is hardwired, that it's going to give them a greater proclivity to, if they find something that they like, they're going to find it less easy to pick up and put down.
So it's fair to say that addiction can affect your day-to-day life, but not just that, it has been shown to affect your nightlife as well. No, not like that. In 2011, there was a study that found that using your phone right before bed seriously affects your sleep-regulating hormone, melatonin. It was found that the blue light emitted from phone screens was the biggest contributor. Sleep is absolutely vital to our emotional and physical well-being. I mean, we all know someone that gets a little too grumpy when they haven't had enough sleep. But it's not just through your sleep that social media can raise your stress levels. In a study undertaken by 1,800 participants, it was found that Twitter causes the individuals to become more stressed. When asked why, they said they were being influenced by other stressful tweets. Furthermore, a study by Christina and Tobias had discovered that after browsing 20 minutes of Facebook, participants felt a general lower mood than before. This is because after spending time browsing the site, people had felt as if they were wasting their time. Facebook's response to this claim states that just like in person, interacting with people you care about can be beneficial, whilst simply watching others from the sidelines may make you feel worse. Their reply then went on to explain that interacting in more depth would make someone feel some sense of self-worth after spending time on Facebook. However, Facebook collects user data as part of its business model, therefore take this advice with a pinch of salt. In the favour of the media giants, a study from the University of California concluded that not only bad moods can be translated through social media, but good moods can be influential as well. It was found that while a post from someone in a bad mood spread 1.3% more negativity, a post from someone in a good mood spread 1.75% more positivity. Now, These figures seem quite insignificant, but just so you know, their sample size was 100 million Facebook users. So, in the scheme of things, these small figures correlate to millions of people. Despite the evidence that suggests positivity is more often spread through social media, it is also proven that social media can cause increased anxiety. A study published in the journal Computers and Human Behavior discovered that individuals who used more social media platforms were more than 3 times as likely than those who used fewer to experience general anxiety symptoms. Although it is unclear as to how social media causes this anxiety, there are many culprits. Cyberbullying is one such culprit. Bullying typically occurs within schools. However, with the emergence of social media platforms, it shifted online as well. A study in 2016 supports the notion that increased social media usage correlates to anxiety and a higher risk of depression. These researchers included cyberbullying as one of the main culprits. The mental effects of cyberbullying are just as severe, if not more, than physical bullying. This is partly due to the fact that the victim can be harassed at every hour of the day, just because they have their phone with them. Not only this, but a bully isn't limited to what they can say either, because the internet provides them with anonymity. Another culprit to increased anxiety is the potential for social media to portray a distorted view of other people's lives. Social media is a hub where people mostly upload the best moments of their life, with photos and videos of when they're at their happiest. This therefore leads to unhealthy comparisons being made between false representations of other people's lives versus an accurate understanding of one's own life. Sharing moments such as this can lead to FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is the anxiety-inducing feeling that others might be having rewarding experiences in your absence. The fact that these comparisons can be made inaccurate and distorted means that the act of comparison can be unhealthy for the individual. Based on its materialistic nature, Instagram, among such other sites, have been known to influence and distort body image among young people. It was found that Instagram is the main culprit to body image and confidence issues among youths. However, these comparisons are not just based on appearances. Comparisons can be made between job success, meaningful relationships, and general happiness. In a study, it was found that women who spent more time on the site reported feeling less confident. These researchers concluded that when a Facebook user compares their own life with others, seemingly more successful and happy relationships, they may feel that their own life is less successful in comparison. Although this gives rise to feelings of lower self-worth, it is not inherently a bad thing to compare with other people. Without comparisons, there would be no competition, therefore less success. Therefore, we can conclude that the act of making a comparison is not inherently harmful, but it is, however, the way in which you react to the comparisons. It is possible to make a comparison and better yourself. However, this is not always the case. A lot of the time, people can come out feeling more worthless, with a sense of less life satisfaction. This can therefore produce feelings of depression. A study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine examined the link between young people's social media usage and their perceived social isolation. The researchers found a correlating trend that suggested with a higher social media usage, the individual felt more socially isolated. This can lead to feelings of loneliness and thereon depression. However, it's not accurate to only depict social media as the cause of this issue. Social media, in fact, has been found to improve mental well-being through social support in depression and loneliness.
One particular thing that social media in particular, as in social media as in being enacted by us people, do is that they help us be more aware of that kind of dysfunction or that kind of pathologies or that kind of problems, conditions.
Robert at Carnegie Mellon University found that people who sent and received more messages reported feelings of improvement in their mental well-being as they received more support from friends and family. This therefore shows it is key to be honest about your feelings, especially to the people who care the most about you. Researchers at Cornell University suggest when a user looks through their own page, it supplies them with an ego boost. They stated that the self-affirmation comes from reminiscing memories of meaningful moments from photos and posts. Depression affects 3.3% of the UK population, and suicide is the most common cause of death for men aged 20 to 49 in England and Wales. Therefore, it's absolutely necessary to identify when someone is struggling with a mental health condition before it becomes too late. Researchers at Microsoft are developing an algorithm that analyzes Twitter profiles to accurately predict depression before it causes any symptoms. This classifier algorithm searches for depressive language and engagement, and from this they're able to predict depression in 7 out of 10 cases. This algorithm is clearly beneficial towards society. However, not all algorithms within social media are built to be as humane. The way in which Facebook and other social media sites are built is to draw in user attention and to retain it for as long as possible.
They keep us in a permanent state of action, reaction, that pushes, enhances the whole emotional process through it. And sometimes in ways they could help us process it, but in some other ways they just keep us particularly emotional and less reflective.
This is so that the site is able to collect data from users and display advertisements. These sites therefore implement positive reward mechanisms such as likes. These likes and shares fire dopamine receptors, the brain's chemical reward mechanism. This provides a positive feedback loop, which in turn keeps users hooked and wanting more. This is therefore an exploitation of human behaviour with a clear disregard to mental health. However, unsurprisingly, we are in charge of our behaviour, and there are certain things we can do to improve our well-being. For example, exercise.
Everybody's becoming, more increasingly aware that sport and physical activity can have a massive benefit on mental health. These chemicals released in your brain which make you feel better about yourself when you've been out exercising. What I've basically been doing is trying to link organisations such as the NHS Foundation Trust, mental health organisations who might have set up some recreational football groups, and linking them with grassroots football clubs. There's also the sort of social benefit of it as well. People are creating informal support networks through football. It built relationships with the support staff because they were joining in with the football with them. So it was a sort of no-suit approach, if you like, because I think in the past it's been, people are quite aware that if you have a mental health condition, you might have to go and speak to somebody and sit down over a table and discuss how you feel. This is an opportunity to go out on a football pitch, be on a level playing field with the person you're working with, which kind of breaks down that barrier and allows people to feel more comfortable in talking about how they're feeling.
So it's clear that exercise improves mood. But how exactly does it work? Serotonin and dopamine are the neurotransmitters responsible for regulating happiness within the brain. These neurotransmitters are released when a person exercises, and they cause a general improvement in mood and memory. In conclusion, social media is a feat of the 21st century, and it's so far developed that even with the greatest efforts, it can't be removed. Therefore, it's important to understand the ways in which the misuse of various sites can affect our mental well-being. Once it's understood, we can focus on setting limitations and boundaries to make sure usage is safe and healthy for everyone. This not only needs to be focused on by developers, but by users themselves, as each individual has a different cognitive makeup, and therefore there is no overriding solution for everyone.
Use with caution, use sensibly, If you're feeling yourself becoming anxious when using it, then it's maybe not something for you to be using at that time.
Look for help in the professional environment. Any health condition that might emerge on you, checking on Google first before going to your GP is dangerous. It's openly dangerous.
I'd say get out, make yourself active, try and get involved with groups, because I think, you know, when you're suffering mental illness, it's quite easy to become isolated and feel on your own. Even if you've got nobody, get out and about.
So just surround yourself with good people. Like, no one is going to hear your problems and be like, yeah, no one cares, mate. Like, if you have friends, family, they will take you very seriously and